Zelete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. A new scramble for Africa is happening right now in Africa. But it's like we are not even aware that there's something of that sort happening in our continent. There's this organization called ICC, and we heard that Niger decided to move out, followed by AES leaders. Then we heard of Venezuela moving out of ICC. Chad joined. But there's something that is boiling. According to the report that is coming, the United States of America, they are forcing African nations to quit ICC, the International Criminal Court. And we know that Africans, according to the Chadian president, currently the number of people in this organization custodies, out of the 7, 6 are Africans. And Chad made it clear, they don't want to be part of an organization that is only after the African leaders. But the question everybody is asking, why is the United States of America bent on making sure all African nations are out of the ICC? And if you don't, it comes with sanctions. According to the report, some nations were approached and they stood their ground. Benin decided to say no. Kampala said no. And other nations. This same ICC, one of the officers, made it clear that somebody told him that this ICC is meant for Africans and thugs like Putin. Looking at the number that Chad even brought out of 7 in custody, 6 are Africans. So if it is so, why then do we need to be part of an organization like that?
Let's continue with this pressure from the United States towards African states. Since mid-July, the Trump administration has asked several of them to leave the ICC. The ICC is the International Criminal Court. Which other African countries are in the crosshairs?
Uganda received a real ultimatum from Washington at the end of June, ordered to leave under threat, I quote, of facing the consequences, but Kampala did not give in. Benin is also resisting the pressure. The White House even appointed a new official, Frank Garcia Jr., to lead this dismantling strategy on the African continent. And according to RFI, 2 sources indicate that other African countries, without naming them, are also under pressure to leave the court.
Tell us, Pascal, why is Africa particularly targeted?
Because that is where the court concentrates most of its activity. It is the most represented continent at the International Criminal Court, with 33 member countries out of a total of 125. Chad, moreover, denounces prosecutions with variable geometry. Note that out of 7 accused currently detained by the ICC, 6 are for crimes committed in Africa.
Well, should we pressure you to leave the ICC? Seriously, the AES countries have notified their withdrawal by explicitly denouncing an instrument of neo-colonial repression in the hands of imperialism and selective justice. When the AES notifies its withdrawal, you denounce these countries and then their leaders. Now, the United States wants to dismantle this court, and several African countries are being pressured by Washington to live with threats of American sanctions. But here, you do not denounce anything. You are silent, or is it only when it concerns the AES that it fills your wallet at the end of the month? International justice no longer exists. It resembles justice for the weak, applied by, and for the interest of the strong until it becomes inconvenient. Only the law of the strongest matters. We are now plunged into a world where the weak are crushed. And when you explain this to some Africans who love the West, they just respond that international justice is important. If so, which one?
So just a couple points that we all know. We've followed in the news, obviously, the events in the Middle East, and others here can talk about that. Not that they're not important, but there's some other issues happening around the world, Mr. President, that you've shown great leadership in that have not gotten nearly as much attention. I think they deserve to mention today. The first is the International Criminal Court is an illegitimate international organization that, frankly, illegitimate. They make themselves illegitimate because they claim that even if you're not a member of that court, they can come after you. And what that literally means in the future is that American servicemen, political leaders, and others could find themselves under indictment by this International Criminal Court. If you want to know a little bit about it, Jack Smith used to work there. These are the people that think they can go out and basically indict any world leader and haul them into The Hague So we tried to get them to reform and listen to us. They wouldn't do it. They're very arrogant. We've now begun an effort to really try to bring that court to heel.
Well, there's no information that they're after me. It could happen. Just so you know, she's talking about it. I'm saying that means that he's not trying to defend me. He is trying to defend Bibi and various other people. But there are many people that shouldn't be looked at that way. But there is no indication that I'm one of them at this moment.
Well, and I actually think the people who are in biggest danger in our system are servicemen, people in uniform. They'll try to go out for the rest of their lives. They'll not be able to travel anywhere in the world with their families because they could be arrested on one of these acts. Imagine, you're a soldier, you fought in a war, and 20 years later they try to come grab you. So this is a big problem. So we've had dozens of countries already join us in this effort. Since we started 2 weeks ago, 5 countries have already quit the ICC. And
we heard the reasons that the Malians gave the Burkinabés and the Nigerians, that this organization is selective when it comes to its justice. It was the same reason that Venezuela gave, that this organization is only going after the global south, leaving their own people. So for that matter, they don't see the need to be part of an organization that is only going after people living their own kind, even when they do things that are not good. One thing we need to understand, even though they want all of us to move out of ICC, why should they force the African leaders to move out and not give African leaders the chance to decide as to whether they want to be part or not? But looking at what this organization, the things that people have decided to bring out concerning ICC, do you think that it is best for Africans to be part if it is meant for Africans and taxed like Putin? A lot of us still don't understand what is happening in the world. So people tend to believe the narrative. Anytime something is happening in Africa, you see Africans talking about the international law. The African will never ask himself, when have these people ever done something? And they expect you, the African, to help pass judgment. Or whenever anything has to do with the African, we are looking at the international law to come into Africa to solve that problem for us. It is time for Africans to wake up and understand that we also can form our own laws. Like the president of Niger, our all in all, General Dramani Chiani said, we are not in the jurisdiction of these people. So why then should their laws cripple us? They can never give us their anything, but they can share their laws with us. Their laws can cripple us. What shows we are sovereign people? If we cannot decide what we think is best for us in this modern world. They have done this to us for generations. And this is the time the African can just walk out, where we can have our own organization. Like Dr. Arikano said, all these foreign institutions were not built for you, the African. And we can't sit here in this modern world expecting that people must come into Africa to tell us what is good or bad. It's been this way for years now. But we have Africans who love the West so much. We believe them so much. The African has been programmed to forget the value, the power, the strength of him or herself. So anytime we have issues bothering us, we tend to look for solution from the same people that are oppressing us. And that's why Captain Ibrahim Traore asked us, why do we love people who oppress us this much? That's why we have people who believe that slavery is bad. These people came here and colonized us. We don't like anything about whatever they have done to us. But when it comes to their God, we love their God. In which way? Africans. And we tend to point fingers at our ancestors because the same person who came and oppressed you is telling you that your way of doing things isn't the right thing. They are primitive, they are backwards. But if you know your history, you know that even the Europeans, It is you, the African, who taught them civilization, cleanness. We taught them everything. We ruled them. But because they don't want you to know who you are and the power that you have, they turn everything upside down. And that is why we are looking for solution from the same people that are oppressing us. And these people succeeded in putting in systems, and the systems are working against you, the same person who loved them so much. So when Captain Ibrahim Traore asks you why you love your oppressor more than yourself, you should understand the angle he's coming from. But where people don't understand is why Washington is forcing African leaders to move out, and not for our leaders themselves to see reasons why they don't need to belong to a place that is only after them. After all, it's not only African leaders or the Africans that are committing crimes in the world. So why is it that out of 7, 6 are Africans? And when they told us that this organization was created for Africans and thugs like Putin, it means that it adds up. That was why the Chadian president decided to move out. So he doesn't want to be part of an organization that is still the modern slavery or modern colonization. Nobody can save you, the African, if you are not ready to save yourself. And the time has come for us to save ourselves. Take control over our own destiny. Write our own history. Go back to our way of life. The whole world. Chinese are proud of who they are. Indians, everybody. It's only the African who tries to be other people. You are trying to be Europeans, Arabians, Chinese, Koreans. Africans want to be any other person except being yourself. But one thing you should understand, in this world, a borrowed garment can never keep you warm. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's colonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. And in Africa,